Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be breaking down how to initiate and how to leave combat when it comes to Feral Druid. And I know that sounds very kind of silly of me to say, but when I actually break it down, hopefully this will kind of explain what I'm looking to do to set up for the next bit of combat, as well as to close out a particular pull and make sure that I've got everything up and running ready for that next big pull. And I will break that down now for you. So if we take a look, I've got a bit of a clip here. This is a holes like 15 key, and we're approaching the end of this mob pack. And so we want to take a look at, as these mobs start dying, what I look to do to make sure that I'm ready for that next pull. So if you're running the Predator talent, then whenever anything dies in combat, with a bleed on of yours, then you get a refresh of your Tiger's Fury, which is actually really important and really fundamental, I think, to any fortified keys for sure, but also even some tyrannical ones where you can get resets and things off of mobs dying on bosses, and even in some raid fights as well. Predator can be really good depending on the raid tier. So luckily, if you're running Predator, then you don't have to really think about when your Tiger's Fury is going to come off cooldown. You basically just make sure as long as things are dying in that key, that you're good to go. However, if you're running Sabertooth, then you have to be a lot more aware of your Tiger's Fury cooldown, right? Because first of all, your Tiger's Fury lasts 5 seconds less than if you had Predator. So it only lasts 10 seconds when you play with Sabertooth. But also, you're not going to get that refresh every time a mob dies, so you always have to be 30 seconds in front of yourself. So you always have to predict, right, where do I need my next Tiger's Fury? Let me make sure that I'm using these properly and to their most value, and where am I going to be in 30 seconds time? And you need to be constantly doing that in your head to make sure that you're using your Tiger's Fury at optimal intervals. So that's why, as well, I think Predator is a way easier talent for a lot of, beginners, because they don't have to think about that cooldown. But, whatever. That's fine. Regardless, the main things that you want to look at when you are leaving combat then is you want to make sure that targets are dying with a bleed on. It doesn't matter if it's Thrash, Rake, Rip, it doesn't matter, just as long as they have one of your bleeds. So you'll notice here that as these mobs start dying, I make sure that I just hit with a Thrash right at the end of combat there. I make sure that I have my 5 combo points, and I make sure that I have Bloodtalons procced and ready to go. And what I probably do here is I probably get up to, okay, so I'm at 5 combo points. This mob still has 12% health. I'm at 5 combo points. It's at 12% health, and I've got Bloodtalons procced, or I think about to, no, I don't. I have 1 Bloodtalons proc right now, and I don't have like really anything else. I don't have Tiger's Fury available or anything like that. But I'm at 5 combo points, and I've got no energy, so I can't Ferocious Bite this or anything like that. So what do I have to do? I think I just generate a Bloodtalons here. Yeah. So I use that opportunity. I overcap on combo points, but I guarantee that I have 2 Bloodtalons procs, and then that mob's going to die with my bleed on them. So now when we go into this new set of combat, I've got 5 combo points. I've got, whatever, I've got energy, but I've got 5 combo points. I've got 2 Bloodtalons, and I've got Tiger's Fury available, which is perfect. That's what you want setting up for that next bit of combat. A little tip here for you, if you didn't know. So I've got a Bloodtalons tracker right here on the center of my screen. But if you didn't know, your Bloodtalons can be procced even outside of combat. So you could shred a mob and it kills the mob. You could shred a mob and it dies. But if you have enough energy, and in that 4-second window, if you then thrash and swipe just air, it will still give you your Bloodtalons. Obviously, Shred or Rake are the only abilities that you have to do on a particular target, because they are not just these, like, aerial kind of, not aerial, but like surrounding, AoE attacks, non-targetable attacks. So that's what I do, is I end up overcapping just to ensure that I get my Bloodtalons. I wasn't going to use a Ferocious Bite or anything like there anyway. And then we go into this next pull, and I can immediately Rake, Primal Wrath, and we don't end up pulling like these other 2 mobs here, like immediately. So I end up just committing to Primal Wrathing these, and then I look to, do my Rake rotation and everything and get things rolling. But I basically make sure that I go into fresh combat, and I immediately have Primal Wrath on the mobs. So I can rake, because it's going to have that increased damage from stealth. Immediately Primal Wrath, rake again. And already, within like, 2 or 3 globals, I'm already at maximum capacity here on these mobs. Compare that to if you leave combat with 0 combo points, it takes that much more time to get up and running. And when you're playing Feral, you want to give yourself the best possible chance at success. And that means making sure that you have everything ready to go at the beginning of combat so that you can instantly get your damage running and you're not waiting around and dilly-dallying. Now I'm going to show you an example here of what's happening when I'm leaving combat without any of this stuff here and how much longer it just kind of takes getting up and running. So I leave combat here, I've got 0 combo points, I've got no Bloodtalons. So we go into this new set of combat, and then I have to go in, I have to rake, now I have to do a shitty thrash and a shitty swipe, and then I can Primal Wrath. So you're just delaying it, and then you're not... I don't think I even got a good Primal Wrath there. Was it even a good Primal Wrath? I mean, it may have had everything crit, but if everything doesn't crit, then you might only be at 3 or 4 combo points, you know? But I think I end up being okay. Yeah, my rate crits there. So I'm okay, and then I can go with the Primal Wrath, and then, looking for explosives and whatever, that's fine. But you're just, like, delaying that initial Primal Wrath up time. And obviously, the longer you can have Primal Wrath on mobs, the better, especially with Circle. So that's kind of just what I'm looking at when I'm leaving combat, is to try and make sure that I always have my Bloodtalons, my Tiger's Fury available, and I'm at maximum combo points, or at least 3 combo points. But hopefully that was kind of like, a cool little help there with the how to leave combat. And it just makes sure that you're going into a fresh set of combat with everything you need. And yeah. Then you're set up ready to get owl weaving even quicker, which is great. But hopefully that was kind of a helpful little video of how I'm looking to leave and enter combat. And just a nice little tip for you. Let me know in the comment section if that was any help and anything else that you want to see from me. And yeah, I appreciate it. See you in the next one.